I got the walk, there's a longboard walk. I know the talk, the longboard talk.
G'day guys, wherever you're joining us from around Australia and around the world. It's Weeksy in WA for this week's episode. It's episode 10 for 2021 of Oz Longboarding, and joining us tonight is a man who's no stranger to a 10. Dual Aussie champion Dane Pioli is going to catch up and tell us what he's been up to for the last couple of years. Before we, g'day Dane. Before we do your proper introduction, Dane, we'll do a lap around the coast and see what's been going on here in West Oz. Of course, the Margaret River Pro's been on, and obviously some decent waves at Margaret River for the comp. And it's been a bit of fun to watch. And around the local beaches, it's been swell up and down the coast. It's been a pretty good week. How's the going been, Sean?
Mate, we've just had another absolutely fantastic week of waves. The swell's just been pumping the whole time. It's been a little bit straight some days, but all the way, from Burleigh down to Snapper, people are just going, hey, some of the best waves I've had. So that side of it's been good. What we do have to announce tonight, the Trans-Tasman test is definitely a goer. Okay, it's going to be at Kira on the 10th and the 11th of July. So the invites to going out at the moment. But if anybody wants to find out more about it, just look up or Google Trans-Tasman surfing test, and hopefully it'll take you straight to the website, and we'll put a link up on our page.
So
after.
give us a bullet point, Sean. It's an invitational event, Australia versus New Zealand, the Ashes of surfing.
That's the one. It's going to build on that rivalry that exists between New Zealand football teams and Australian teams. I've had a talk to a couple of old footy legends, Lottie Takeri being one. He said, hey, you might beat us on the rugby field, but we're going to smash you in the waves. So, yeah, we've got that sort of thing.
Run it, Lottie.
We'll see about that. And there she is. There's Big Jode. She's got some colour in the background. And so you actually look a lot better this week with a bit of colour for the contrast for the camera, Jodie. But welcome along. How's Crescent Head been this week in the surf?
Oh, look, it's been good, and thank you for the compliment, Weeksy. Like, I've actually got a good 10 over the weekend for once. So, so yeah, we had our local just a community event, the surf rally stomp, and like it turned on for the day. So, it actually the waves were pretty big, like, holding for about 5-6 foot. So it was quite good in that until everyone until the wind had changed, unfortunately. So but now,
how'd you go, Joe? Did you get a couple?
No. Why? Because I
sold all your boards.
No, I only sold one.
Oh, good.
But like I haven't been surfing as much as I'd like to, Dane, but like I went out, and because my bloody shoulder was playing up, and that, of course, and then getting easily bruised these days. But I mean, other than that, like, we just had really good waves like throughout the weekend, and everyone had a ball. And then, like, Crezo just pumped at night. Like, we had different bands playing, and then of course I didn't go, and that, of course, but yeah, it was apparently, the whole Crezo, and that was down at the surf club. Just, everyone kept partying on as usual. But
have you still got Bonga's board?
Yep, I still have Bonga's board. I know that Declan Whitens really want to get his hands onto it, but
yeah, don't we all?
But yeah, no, I've still got it. Still like, stored
Oh, cool.
and stuff. So it's
Good stuff.
But yeah,
Good
that's
stuff.
pretty much what's been happening, and it was just good to be.
Hopefully he's watching. If he's watching, hey BP.
Yeah, bless him.
He could be watching tonight.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So, and Jodes, we'll find out a bit more as well about what goes on at the Crescent Club at band nights when Dane's around. There's got to be some footage of that there somewhere. But,
no, we see. You know what? The whole situation. What happens on tour stays on tour.
But this is Oz Longboarding. No one tells anyone. Like, this is just secret. And people who watch this and listen in don't.
Nobody watches it. You can spill your guts.
Yeah, that's it. This is just us. It's just us. So
we're too old.
Up
You were
on the
long
sun-
before social media.
I think we should just introduce Dane at this point. There's still two more hosts to get to, but otherwise people are just going to see him popping up and wondering who this bloke is with the moustache. So I'll introduce you at this point now, Dane, and that way it won't confuse the viewer quite so much. So 2010 and again in 2017 Australian Open Longboard champion, Dane Pioli. How are you, buddy?
Good, buddy. Sorry, the first time I didn't know I was cutting in and my head was popping up. But yeah, it's good to be here. I like this. It's all
I
right.
kind of like the way the lip of the wave in your picture is kind of cutting your head in and out as like you're getting a head dip as you're going along. Where's that photo taken, mate? The one behind you there.
That's taken back over in Tello. That was a good day, that one. That was I think that was a day we had Mitch Cruz up there doing a can't remember what he was doing up there, but we had him for about a week and it just pumped for a week. And it was just us two, honestly, for about 5 days straight out there, and it looked like that every day. And we're just, like 4 or 5 hours a day. And then got to the one stage, I remember, it might have even been that day. It was a real good day. It was right at the end of his trip. And he's like, can we go around to that onshore left? And I just looked at him, I said, you're kidding yourself, mate. Look at this. I've had enough barrels, too many shots. I need to go and get some turns. And I was like, fuck, you can swim over there, mate. I'm not taking you there. But yeah, I ended up bailing, taking him around there.
Looks like you had a great couple of years at Tello Island Lodge. And look, just because
good.
it's a nice segue, and I want to get through the introductions, someone who's got a right hander just about as good as yours. In fact, well, I don't know, it might even be a little bit more pretty and perfect. Kira Molnar up in Noosa, how was your week, mate?
Yeah, pretty good. We've had an epic run of surf. So the open beaches have been really, really good. And yeah, we've just been pumping as well. Probably same as Sean, getting the same swell. It's easterly, so the points are working, the beaches are working. It's offshore everywhere. It's been wicked.
Lovely. And not like you guys both got your nice right-handers, barrels in the background, which is great to see. But we'll jump down now. And Kira, I want to get, well, you've actually got lots more stories to tell tonight as well. But we'll get back to you in just a moment because Matty Cook's joining us down from Cronulla. So the Shark Island longboarding legend. He's lost his beard, so I've got the biggest beard tonight by the looks of things. Welcome to the show, Matty.
Yeah, I had to get rid of the beard for Mother's Day. I didn't want her to see that. I knew what she was going to say if she saw that. So, yeah, we've had fantastic waves down here. Probably some really heavy, thick, wild surf down here for the past sort of week. And Mother's Day actually was one of the best days we've had all year. It's been pretty gnarly. Lots of broken boards and even a broken jet ski out at Cape Solander the other day with Kip Caddy almost killing him.
Oh, I saw that. That was heavy.
Yeah, it was heavy.
That was heavy.
Up on the shelf.
So, for anyone that hasn't surfed it, like it's like a big cliff, probably only like maybe 50 meters from the break. And if you fall off, you're going to get pushed up against that cliff. And that's what his jet ski did. And he couldn't really save it, but the guys got it out. Must have taken about 10 guys to pull it up off the cliff and throw it in the back of someone's van. It was completely totaled, but
everyone all right? All the people safe, obviously.
Yeah, I think if it had been anyone else other than Kip, I think they might have been dead. Like it was pretty heavy. So it's been pumping down here. Really cool.
Nice, good stuff, mate. And a big happy Mother's Day. Thanks for reminding me to all the mothers out there. And how did Mrs. Cook go for her first time as a mother? Her first year as a mother?
I had such a big weekend. We actually had her 30th birthday on Saturday, and then it was her first ever Mother's Day on Sunday. So it was didn't really line up with the waves and everything I had to do, but just had a good time.
Hey, that's the thing. If
Yeah.
you didn't if the waves were no good, you didn't give anything up for Mother's Day. So that just makes it more special what you've done.
Yeah.
So good on you, Maddie. And our other Maddie, also in Sydney, but on the other side of town, another very experienced competitive longboarder who's got a long history with our special guest tonight. Welcome to the show, Maddie Chinosky.
Hey guys, it's been same as everyone else, pumping. Whole East Coast of Australia lit up. Just a shame that WSL event wasn't here 2 weeks later because it was lit up that whole stretch and the whole Northern Beaches and got the longboard out in a couple of days and the key to the best waves in the last week has been length. You know, you needed that length to stroke into those bigger bombs, knife the edge, and the best servers in the water were the ones riding slightly longer boards. Even the shortboard riders were still on, upper end of the 6 mark and low 7s. So it was fun. It was just insane, actually. Just so content. Just what a weekend of waves. So good.
Seen some good pics of you, Maddie.
Yeah, they're just kind of like the little sprinkles. There was so many people shooting, but like any of you guys know, when it's good, you don't come in, you just stay out. So I actually missed the photographers' cycles to see who was shooting and who wasn't. So I've been getting drips and drabs coming through my social media, but it's been fun. Thanks.
Unreal. So it seems like everybody's fairly contented on the wave front. That's unreal. So back to our special guest tonight. So I'll keep talking while you sort out your phone there. Right?
He's just trying to get barreled.
trying to sort out the wax.
Getting in the pit. It's that you're not using Huey's Choice wax, are you?
No, I'm using Slippery Johnson.
Cha-ching. So
all right, hang on. I'm nearly on. I'm on. All right, I'm back.
Looking good. So we haven't seen you on the competitive scene for a little while, Dane. What have you been up to, mate? So just give us a quick background on what the last couple of years has been for you.
Oh, busy, mate. So when I got back from Tello, I just got in the concrete and had to make some money. Bought a place just in the back of Cooley and just it's been working my ass off and trying to get good boards, and I feel like my surfing's there at the moment. It's good. It's been pumping, but yeah, there hasn't been any contests, and I was booked in for last year. I was going over to New Zealand for that contest, that single fin one, and then that was going to be like the start of the year, and then everything just turned to shit, and then just been cruising on the coast and working, and yeah, just surfing. I got a new fella making me boards now, and honestly, the best boards I've had since I was a kid. So I'm just tripping, and they just keep turning up, and they just keep getting better and better. So,
give him a plug, mate. You got to say, Come a little bit closer to your camera as well. But yeah, so what brand are they? Who's making these boards, mate? Because
Shane Lloyd Sumner. The boards are called Creative Laminating Surfboards. They're out of Port Kembla, and just got Chelsea on them too. So she's on them. Yeah, Fitzy's been on them for ages. Big shout out to Fitzy for hooking it up. He makes all Dylan Longboarding's shortboards, and he's just a good surfer and just a great shaper. And he just, over the phone, just knew what I wanted. And first one turned up just like, via the phone, just seeing how, and it just turned up, felt sick, and they've just been getting better and better. Then he got into me logs, and yeah, they're just perfect. So another couple just turned up the other day. He made me one for the wave pool, actually. That was pretty sick, and it'd be good for Kira too. So hopefully Trans-Tasman 6 foot, and I've got a board ready to go.
Tell us a bit more details about it, Dane.
About what, the board?
Yeah, like dimension and stuff like that.
So it's pretty much, all my HPs are pretty much just shaped off the old Team C K-Star, my beloved K-Star. It's only 9.1. Super thin, this one. This one's like about 2 and... I need to have a look, Matty. You've got me stumped, mate. I'm not like you. Fuck, mate, hang on. What we got? All right, hang on.
Dane, turn your background picture off for a second. He's got a massive rack of surfboards behind him, folks.
All right, 21 3/4 by 2 and just over 2.5. What's that? 2 5/8, Matty? Something like that.
Yep, 2 5/8.
But but the tail's pulled right in, and it's got a bit of flip. The nose, they cut the ears off the nose a little bit, and she goes good. I rode it at the pool, and it's still in one piece, thank God. But yeah, it's good.
Do you miss the old tough lights?
I miss I do. I think I was just so stuck in my ways, riding it for so long. So when I got onto the PUs, it was a bit of a struggle. But no, now I'm back on these epoxies, and they're good. So the EPS stringless, most of them are.
Yeah.
So, but they've been holding up, so that's good.
You would believe I'm actually going to pick up a 9.0 McTavish original Surf Tech. It's about 15 years old. It was for sale for $80 on Facebook.
Mate, yeah, right.
Just as my sacrificial lamb just for when it's pumping.
Yeah, well, how's this? I ran out of K-Stars from, getting rid of them and just never thought they would end. And Scotty Channon actually hit me up and he goes, Dane, there's one on Marketplace. So I went on there and it had been snapped. So I was like, no, fuck, I don't want that. And then
probably one of your old ones, mate.
No, well, this is the story. So after that, he lied to me and told me it wasn't snapped. And I was like, mate, I know it's been snapped. I can see the spray. Like, I'm not dumb. And he must have went on my Facebook and then he deleted me. And then the next day I was like looking to see if he'd sold it and another one had popped up and this thing was like brand new. And I was like, wow. So anyway, so I hit him up and he wanted $1,000 and I got him down a little bit. And anyways, he's like, I think this is one of your boards. And he come around to my house and he told me a story that he bought it from Tweed. And I was like, mate, I would never have sold a brand new Surf Tech. So it's not one of mine. It could have been one of Chelsea's that she didn't like. But
small world still.
But yeah, I got it back and it's in here on ice. I've ridden it a couple of times behind the rock, but yeah, it's just
that's
chilling
the board,
now.
That's a K-Star behind you, hey.
Yeah, that's that board. Yeah. So yeah, I got a brand new one of them right behind me. So it's in a cover down here. But yeah.
Epic.
But yeah, just stoked on my new boards and just stoked to be enjoying myself again. Yeah, there was a couple of years where I was just pumping it out and just working hard and getting to where we are now with the family and everything. So I just had another little baby boy and little Texie, and yeah, everyone's doing well. The missus is doing good. She's back surfing. We go down to Arrawarra and she's ripping. So everyone's enjoying their surfing. It's good.
Unreal. And congratulations on becoming a dad for the second time. So a 5-year-old and a 5-month-old. But you didn't start off in the normal way with surfing. Now, Matty Cook, maybe you can explain it to me, mate, because when I first met Dane, everyone was saying that the place where he's from, Bankstown in New South Wales, there's not too many surfers. What would be your take on that? Is the Bankstown not where you'd expect a pro to come
Campbelltown,
from?
mate.
Oh, sorry, Campbelltown, not Bankstown. Campbelltown.
Not far off.
There you go. I'm not from there.
Yeah, I know.
You live in another country, Weeksy.
Nah, it's a good joint. It's a good joint.
But so apparently not too many of your fellow suburbians get into the surfing. So talk us through that, Dane. How did you come from Campbelltown and be finding yourself down the beach and then becoming a longboarder?
Yeah. So yeah, me and my brother were born in Liverpool, and then moved out to Campbelltown. Just started playing footy. Had a caravan down in Jervis Bay when we were kids, and I don't know. I think around the age of about 11, 12, we're just starting to ride boogie boards and that. And I don't know. Dad ended up buying a board. I think he was trying to keep us out of the rest of the shit that goes on in that area. Hanging out with the wrong crew and whatever. And so Dad tried to get us into the beach, and thank God he did, because he bought a Mao. We actually were driving to Manly one day and he stopped at Surf Action and bought I still remember it. He bought an 8.4 Bear triple stringer, wooden tail block, Paul Hutchinson one it was, I think. And we went out to Freshie there at Kitty's Corner and he let me and Jace have a go of it. And then about 3 weeks later, we joined Laybacks and we all shared it, the board. And then he's like, oh, fuck, all right, the boys want to ride it. So he went and bought a 9-footer, McTavish 9-1 trimmer, Matty. Yeah, with the channels through the middle of the board.
The
5 channels through the with heaps of rocker. And anyway, so then me and Jace had to fight over the 8.4. And then we all went in the laybacks and we started enjoying it. And then I had to make a career choice between footy and longboarding. And in 1998 or 99, it was the Aussie titles at Bells. And I made the junior New South Wales side. And I was playing my 11th year of footy grand final. And the old boy was like, look, mate, we haven't got that much money, but if you want to go that path, your footy career's done. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to Bells. Let's go. So he took me to the airport. I remember this clear as day. He took us to the airport and all the other kids had their mum and dad flying down with them and everything. And Dad just went up to, there was Ian Bell, Jai Burns, Dave Simons, all the boys were there. And he went up to him. He said, hey, boys, I'm not going, but can you look after me son? And they went, yeah, hell yeah. And they really opened my eyes to a few things. And I grew up real quickly down there. And then, I just went, all right, longboarding sick. And I just loved it ever since that day. And, yeah, so from the age of 14 to 37, just every day. yeah, it's kept me out of a lot of shit. And, you know, I've seen a lot of boys go down the wrong paths. And, you know, I've still got a good, tight knit of friends that came with me from down there. You know, a bunch of them come up here, you know, a few of them weeks here. And they got out of there and the other boys went south. But the ones that are still there, you know, they're either, you know, some of them could be dead or in jail or whatever. And you just have to, could have easily ended up there. But I'm so stoked and thankful that longboarding, you know, kind of saved us. And Jace was he was my big brother, but, you know, I always went head first and then he'd come behind, you know. And so he was kind of a bit smarter where I was just like, I was easily led astray, you know.
Doesn't sound like you at all, Dane.
No, I'm good now. So, yeah, it's good. He misses. No.
So
every now and again.
Just before we went live, you were telling us a little bit more about, you just went down to Victoria to Urban Surf. What did you get down there?
Yeah, that was pretty full on. So I got a little ticket for my birthday off my missus. And I was like, well, I don't want to go on my own. And so I spoke to Harley and he's got a few connections there. And we worked out how much it would cost to book the whole pool out. So we had control over both sides and no one else in the water. And, it cost a few bucks, but we rounded up. I think there was 18 or 19 of us. And, we all went down on Friday and, it was full on. I only took my Mao. So the longboard crew that you would know, there was me, myself, Jace. Jace actually rode his 9.6 log on beast mode, like the heaviest wave that's possible. Like it's honestly that shallow and like that square.
And concrete bottom.
Yeah, concrete bottom. I said to Jace, that fin is going to scrape on the bottom, mate, if you get too low. But he did well. Kevin Holt, he dominated the backside session on his Mao. Glenn Fitzgerald Fitzy, Declan, Jack Entwistle, Harley, Jazza. Don't forget Jazz. We had a couple of good nights, me and Jazz. But it was sick. It was really good. I definitely, you should all get there, especially on beast mode. Like it's hard on the Mao. Harley did warn me, but I just thought, we'll give it a go. And so when you take off beast mode, you take off, it lets you roll in easy, so you think you're going all right. And then you kind of set up and the thing just comes back at you and bends away. And it's also going dry. Like you're looking at white concrete and then you're like, fuck, so your Mao's hanging out that way while you're going that way kind of thing. And and when it froze you, you just hit hard. And it happened a few times. I'm still sore. So a lot of the boys, and that was from Friday night. So, yeah.
Did you get any broken boards and stuff? Because Nathan, who's one of our panelists, he'll be
I should have. Mate, that thing held up and it was green too. Like he shaped it on Monday. The week before. He rang me on Tuesday and it arrived on Friday night. And then, I took it. So it was about a week old, but he got those 2 new boards to me in 5.5 days. So he's killer, eh? It's so good. But, none of the boys broke their boards. I've seen some guys getting thrown up against the wall and getting held under, and one of the boys like split his eye real bad, and one of the other boys smacked his mouth real bad and swelled up, nearly lost all his teeth. My other mate hit his chest real bad on the bottom and had to take some time out. But it's heavy, eh? It's not because we had advanced 6 turns. We had control of the pool, so we went on advance for the first 20 minutes, and then we worked up into beast mode 3, which is like a square kind of 2-foot barrel, 3 foot maybe. And then the last 20 minutes, Harley's like, all right, tell them to turn it up. And they turned up to as big as it could go. And it was just drawing water like you wouldn't believe. And it's fun, but I think I'd rather a longer, perfect one.
Do you get a bit of backwash off the wall, did you find? When it got
No, because normally they run 12 wave sets. So we on beast mode, we ran it at 6 wave sets. So every wave was perfect. So we didn't get all the mess. That's why we paid the extra money, so we had control. Otherwise, there was only 8 of us on each side. So the 12 wave sets, 4 guys would get good ones. The other guys are just getting the scraps. So we just made it a little bit less waves, but the consistency of good ones were there. It was good. Real good.
And how did you find nose riding there too?
It was all right. I was only nose riding on the advanced setting. So like advanced 6. couple of helis, couple of Talfrios. It was good. Me and
Nice.
Declan were having a bit of fun. He stayed with me on the right to start, and then no, it was good. It was fun. I would like to ride a log on it on the cruiser in intermediate mode because they were just long walls. Like Jace was sitting there just foaming,
Yeah.
and he was, oh, look at that one, look at that one. I was like, there'll be none of them ones when we paddle out, mate. Get ready for the big ones. But no, he rode his log, and we didn't have to scrape him up off the bottom, so that was good.
Well, for those who don't know, obviously Dane has a reputation for charging on heavy waves, and one of the few longboarders to take off behind the rock at Snapper on a regular basis, along with Jackson Close and a couple of other notable names. But we've been hearing from one of our panelists about how heavy those settings are and how inappropriate they are for longboards. So it sounds like you've backed up exactly what he said, and perfectly on cue for a nice segue for me. Welcome to the show, Nathan Riverland. How was your week been, mate? Dane's just been telling us he got smashed at the wave pool on Friday.
Oh, really? That's heavy. No, good to be here, guys. I like Dane's t-shirt as well. I like his Michael Jordan t-shirt. That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, nice to have you on, mate. Yeah.
Cheers, bud.
Yeah, week's been pretty good. Been dealing with a bit of a knee injury for a few weeks. So I haven't been really surfing, or tonight was sort of my first real run at footy for a while as well. So, but yeah, just been working a bit. We've had a few surfing Vic comps. So we had the state longboard titles, which was last week, 2 weekends ago, and then we just had the Victorian Junior shortboard titles. So yeah, just been busy working and everything. The waves haven't been great anyway. It's been pretty terrible and big and messy. So yeah, nowhere to really hide either, because it's just been southeast winds, and down here that's a bit of the devil wind. So yeah.
Not too many options. And you obviously weren't working on Friday night, because I reckon if you'd seen Harley and Dane and Jack and all the crew there on the longboards, I'm sure you would have jumped in with them.
Yeah, no, it would have been frothing if I was there. I haven't worked at the pool for probably a good 5-6 weeks. Yeah, because just been busy with surfing Vic commentating stuff and a few other little things and jobs. So yeah, but yeah, probably won't be working there much in the future either, which is a bit of a bummer. But yeah, the ship's kind of sailed a little bit. The drive's a little bit far, and with finishing uni last year with doing all the journo degree, yeah, kind of moved into industry sort of stuff.
Oh, does this mean we can stop plugging them every week, or?
Yeah, well, yeah, we might keep doing a few more plugs, because we want to have the comp in there sometime in the future. But yeah, well, hopefully that can become a reality, and yeah, we can facilitate that hopefully.
That'd be sick.
Based on what Dane just said, I think I really want to see it now. The longboarders on the chunky settings, but we'll have to make sure that. Sounds like we have to make sure that Harley gets an invite as well, Sean, just so that he can work his magic with the people in the control room.
In the planning stage, so it's all under wraps. Yeah, if we can, we're trying to put together a big budget comp for the 12 invitee guys and 12 girls there, but with some serious money. So been talking with the guys from Urban Surf today. They've got the prop and everything. They're really interested, but like anything else, it all comes down to the dollars and cents. So yeah, if we can get it, it'll be something that's really different. No one's done anything like what we propose. And yeah, I would imagine, Dane, you'd be on that invitee list along with a few of the crew.
Yes, please.
We want to make it.
For someone who's not allowed to say anything about it, you just said a lot about it, Sean.
No, I can't.
Pretty much.
I'm excited.
Ask him another question.
Matty,
yeah,
Cook. I can see you taking a breath.
I see Cookie in beast mode. You'd go right out there, Cookie in beast mode. I've seen you at the Cape and at the island and fucking Suck Rock and all the joints.
Yeah,
You'd go good out there.
I'd love to do it.
You too, Matty.
Yeah, I'd love to give
Matties. Yeah. Oh yeah. On that new surf tech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See how it holds up.
I just announced it to everyone, but yeah, I mean, one of Bob McTavish's favorite boards is actually one of his own, made by Surf Tech so many years.
Was it the Carver?
No, it was the original. It was the trimmer.
Oh yeah.
But just simply because it's one of those boards you just don't really have to care about.
Yeah, you can get on it. It just works.
Yeah, you can wax them up on the concrete. You can, put them on the racks with no board cover on, and they can hit shells. You can hit a little bit of barnacles, and it doesn't ruin the board.
Yeah, I remember my little party trick. You might remember that week. So I used to put it up on 2 logs, and I used to just bounce on the middle like a trampoline, like before me heats, which was pretty stupid. But yeah, the thing wouldn't break. Hey, they do break, like because they're so rigid. They will pop, but the strength they actually have, like the durability, is out of control. I don't think any other there's a couple of constructors out there now maybe, but back then they were so far ahead of their time, weren't they?
Mm.
Hey Dane, what's your most memorable competitive?
I would have to.
I've got one I want to
2010
share with you afterwards, but I want to.
All right. Probably the 2010 Aussie titles, just the caliber of the finalists. That, and then on top of that was probably the presentation, which I couldn't even get the microphone to my mouth because Mick Branch's dad had made up some plaques for the top 4 finalists, and the winner got the big one, it's actually right there behind me. And it's probably the only trophy I kept out of everything else that mum and dad's. But I got out of the water in the final. Going out there, I knew there was trophies with Branch's face on them and everything. And I said, fuck, I want the big one, and I just tried so hard. And, there was Josh and Harley, and I think Bo Nixon was the other guy.
Mm.
And and it was went right down to the last wave where me and Harley had a tie, and I had the higher wave. I had a 9. So I won on the count back. And then to get that, well, the Aussie title was cool, but to actually have Branch's memorabilia, and
sure.
just something I can hang on to. And it was good, man. That one and maybe the malfunction, 2007.
Yeah.
Pumping barrels.
Yeah.
What do you got for me, Matty? What was that?
I remember competing against you when I was a real mega grom, but there was one year at the South Australian, I think it was 03 Aussie titles, Middleton.
Yeah, I remember.
I guess you would have been in the Opens then, just maybe your first year in the Opens.
Yeah, just turned 18, yeah.
Yeah, well, you're in the semi or final, and I think I was with Joel Tilley, and we're sitting there, and you did a run around. You got one all the way in, you did a run around, and someone gave you a ciggy, and you're like, just need an energy stick, and you ran out with a ciggy. It went out, and you ended up killing it. You got like you got like an excellent range score.
Yeah, that was the Campbelltown coming out at me. That was the Campbelltown coming out at me. I was just about to leave home then.
You were killing it though in the water, like you were doing.
Yeah, mate, that was wild. That final, actually, I tell that story sometimes. Well, that was the semi you're talking about, but and then they moved it into the harbour because it got too big.
Yep.
And I remember being in the harbour and like looking and going, where do the waves even start? They were like fucking 2 Ks out the sea, and it was just whitewater after whitewater. And the 4 of us paddled out for the final. I think it was me. I remember it too. Me, Josh, Jackson, and Harley. So a pretty gnarly final. And the whole 25 minutes, we didn't see each other. I didn't know if they drowned or I was in the wrong spot. It was just out of control, mate. 25 minutes, it was just a washing machine and thinking of the Sharks the whole time. So
yeah.
Oh, mate, it was full on.
That was an intense Aussie titles. Yeah.
That was. I'm glad I haven't gone back there. It's one of those things, like, I don't know. The point would have been fun on its day, but it's just one of those waves you don't have to go back to. So it's good.
We have
nothing against the SA people, but
it's kind of like a long version of, or a softer version of Bellambi or Coleroy, in all the measures. Very similar.
Yeah, it was on sand, yeah?
Sandy, sort of, kind of just a nothing. I'm into right-hand points, and that thing doesn't ring a bell in my memory.
Yeah, you spend more time going left on the right-hand point, cutting back. Yeah. Yeah. So what else is going on, guys?
Right.
Weeksy's on mute.
Weeksy.
Weeksy's on mute.
Weeksy's asleep.
That's all good. You going up to Noosa, Dane, next week?
Nah, I wish, mate. The boys, Fitzy and Jace, are on their way up tomorrow, and they're driving up. I'm devoed, mate. I just not going this year. It's a bit heartbreaking. I'd like to. I'm just in the middle of moving houses. I just sold my place, and we're just trying to buy a new one right now, actually today. So we're going through it all, the finance stuff and all that, and it's just not really a good time to have a week off work. And the bank don't want to see me have a 0 week. I work for myself, so it's hard,
Yeah, well, if it's anything to go by last week's combo with John Finley, sounds like Noose is going to be there for many years to come. Thank God. So,
hip hooray. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, one of the few, confirmations that we have. How's everything going with the organisation up there, Kira?
Yeah, good. They actually just released the heat schedule, so they had it up. But I think they'll make a few changes depending on the swell and that. So you can check the heat schedule now on Live Heats for the Noosa Festival of Surfing. And yeah, it looks like starting with the juniors and then some of the over 50s and over 65s this weekend, and then during the week getting into more of like the open divisions. But looks like there's going to be some good swell around for a while. So yeah.
That'd be so good. So jealous.
Yeah.
How's the sand on the point? How's first point?
So much sand on the point. It's like barreling.
Oh, I seen a clip the other week, and they were like getting barrels down past the surf club. Yeah.
Yeah.
Real wide.
Yeah. It's funny. Depends who you talk to. Some people like just longboarders, they're like, oh, first point's terrible, it's the worst it's ever been. And then you get those people who shortboard or like love barrels, and they're like, it's so good. So which it is. Wow. It's fun, it's just different.
I'm so jealous. Victoria, I reckon, is about 10 degrees in and out of the water at the moment, so I'm very pissed off.
I'm hearing you.
You're making me very sad.
I'm a wuss. I had to put a wetsuit on the other morning, and I was like, I can't do this.
Oh, the water's still 23 degrees.
I know.
They don't treat you guys very tough up there in Queensland.
Definitely not when it comes to cold.
No.
Hey, Jody, have you got any questions for Dane? You've travelled a lot with Dane and seen Dane at heaps of comps over the years.
Yeah, well, not just in the comps, but basically like on stage and that as well. Like,
yeah, Jodes.
Oh, let's get into this.
She's got the good stories.
Like every time, like, when Noosa's, it's always be like a big week of, like not just surfing, but just that camaraderie, with meeting everyone and catching up with everyone and stuff. And of course, like, the surf club always pumps and that on, I think it's either Tuesdays, is it the Tuesdays or?
Yeah, it's Tuesdays.
Yeah. And so like, sink a few tins and that in, and then it's like, and then you're just like, yeah, get all ready to, there we go. There's a classic example right there.
Oh, Tommy Avery.
But yeah, like, those nights and stuff like are always awesome. And even, I think there was a few times that Dane and I like would do duets and stuff. But
yeah.
I do have to ask you, Dane, like what's out of your whole, like, competing and, like, going on surf trips and that, what's been your best surf trip that the most
going back to 2010 again, going to Hawaii for the world titles in Makaha.
Yeah,
that was pretty insane. First of all, scraping the money together to going over there. Weeksy actually come with us. That was pretty sick. So Makaha was huge. They called it off one day because it was too big, but Russ K, Dwayne, those guys, they were like, Bonga, come on, let's go. And we're just like, fuck no. It was so big. It was like, would have been like an Eddie contest, but it was so big. Yeah, they called that off. And I didn't do too well in the contest. I surfed okay. I don't know. Yeah, but apart from that, yeah, just the whole trip, staying on the North Shore with all the boys on tour, with our little gang, it was good. Then we went out to Sunset for a couple of weeks and stayed out there and surf pipe and backdoor with Bonga and all that. So yeah, that was a pretty good trip. And then the other trip would have been P-Pass, and we went and did that thing with Steve Cleveland and PLB. So with me, Ned, Harley, Harrison, yeah, and Asher Pacey. But that was pumping. That was a 5-day trip. We surfed for 3 days out of the 5 days, and it went from like 4 foot, 5 foot, and then we just had Asher had to fly out, and he was just like, boys, you're going to score. Then he flew out, and then like we had like 3 hours of just pumping P-Pass with just the boys in the water. So that was pretty cool. That was like pretty memorable. And apart from that, just every day in Tello.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, Jodes, can I know what your duet was that you were singing? What's the go-to duet for both of you?
I don't
What's the tune?
Jodes can sing anything.
to be honest, like we were drunk. So like,
Whatever you decided.
yeah. I think. I mean, I don't even think we even like sang like even duet songs. I think it was just like.
No, we'll just get up together.
Yeah.
If I was up there, you'd jump up, and if you were up there, I'd jump up.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. But that's. I mean, that was the the my highlight of a day that. But I've first met Dane. I think when you and Jace.
I was still living in Campbelltown. Yeah.
Yeah, like I remember both of us had long hair.
Yeah. Rat's tails.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Coming up the crescent, learning to hang 5 on the point, hanging out with you, and JJ Starr actually was camping there one time with his old boy, so I met him and you at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were shredding the point, and we were trying to get tips off you.
I provided.
You did. You provided some tips.
Actually, the Crescent locals are pretty friendly like that, showing you which little ledge to walk out to jump off and all the rest of it. That's if you're nice to the right people. So,
Yeah.
Dane, I wasn't asleep before when you guys were accusing me. I was trying to find some photos. So I've got a little bit of a slideshow here, which maybe we can work through and you guys can react to perhaps as well. But I'll just click into my other little desktop here. So I'm guessing this is the 2017 Nationals when were you on a Barry Bennett for the 2017?
Yeah, I was on me. Yeah, that was Sammy Tehan shape. That was the best one he shaped me. That one, unfortunately, broke down in some boa. But yeah, that was 2017. I just lost the Longboard final, got dead last, and was about to bloody just get in my car and drive home, and had to paddle back out in the open final. I think because going on land and going up to my car and having a good hard look at myself and a few slaps in the face, going, come on, reset, let's go again. It's not over. You got 20 more minutes. And I went out there with a different attitude that time. And just took no prisoners kind of thing. And I think I was probably a bit of a prick. Oh, there we go. That's that's Tello. That's me stand-up booger. That's a 54-inch turbo boogie board, that one. Yeah,
How
that's
did you get into doing that? Because JJ, your mate, who's like 6'4", 6'5", and he rips on a booger.
Yeah. Probably from watching JJ. But we used to do it at Snapper when it's too shallow. And then I took me Stuggy over. My mum bought me that for Chrissy. And she's like, you don't want a boogie. A Stuggy, stand-up boogie.
Ah, right.
Yeah. So that's actually a stand-up boogie from Turbo. You could buy them ones. And I took it over and I rode it for about 3 months straight every day. So yeah, that was good. That's at La Bar. That's a fun wave, that.
It reminds me a little bit of Weeksy's Rocket, my little Simmons.
Yeah. Oh, that one. That's one of Sean's comps.
Hands up in his nose riding.
Yeah, that's just trying to get a few extra points. That's cheating. And then as you're walking back, you keep your arm up a little bit longer.
You've been talking to Dane Wilson, haven't you?
The embellishments.
I probably learned that off Dane.
Willow's
Matty just puts his hands in his pocket, don't you, Chono? Just stand tall, loud and proud. I try to get a few extra points
on your boards.
Yeah, they're Tigers colours, mate. West Tigers. Yeah, all my boards used to be Tigers. Oh, Jazza took that one. That was like my last day in Tello before I flew home. When I finished up and we found this, that was a closeout, and it was super shallow too. And we jumped off the boat. I said, Jazza, grab the camera and jump in. I'll go and pull into a few of these and see if we can get the shot. And he nailed that one. So that was a sick one.
What's going on with that backhand there, mate?
Yeah, I was like, ooh, yeah, like orangutan, eh?
Give me the wave. It's a beautiful wave.
Oh, mate. Yeah, I'm a bit devo. That would have been a sick shot. That was...
I think it looks casual. I think it makes your hand look relaxed. It looks like you just...
I was shitting myself. It was that shallow.
This is the famous board. This is probably the board I see the most.
That was my hardest final that I won at Sean's event. That final against Taylor, Josh, and Jackson. I remember that final. I think I nearly spewed when I got out of the water. I'd done a run around and I thought I was in front, and then I heard him call my score, and I still needed I think it was a high 8, and I was on the shore and I looked at my watch and it was like 4 minutes to go, and I had to do that dreaded run around from the surf club and try to get back out, and it was like 6 foot that day. That's the smaller one on the shore, but. Yeah, as I was running back around, I'm looking at my watch going, I'm not going to get up the top of the point and jump back in and get to the lineup in time. So I kind of shot across the sandbank and jumped in. I'm just like this. And as I paddled across, missed the whole takeoff zone where the boys were and just happened to get pushed wide. And a freak wave just popped out of nowhere that hadn't broken there all day. Like I was wide, I was nowhere near the takeoff zone. And I remember just taking off and backdooring a pit on one and then doing a few turns and coming in. And that was the last turn. That was like the finishing turn
Close out
at the end. Yeah, and then on my hands and knees and then just like coughing up bloody everything.
You don't mind a late finish. That Nationals. Oh, what's going on here? I've been surfing in steel caps, but never involved.
Oh, that was one of Sean's comps too, and Volley was the sponsor, and Luke chucked us a pair and said, "Go and see if you can nose ride in these volleys." Not a very good wave, but yeah, it would have been good on a good wave. That's all right. How's the guts on him?
That reminds me of the old Julian Wilson shot in the Vans.
Yeah, the old schools. That's it, Matty.
Yeah, you remember that? Yep.
Hey, what's so serious here, mate?
Where is that?
Looks like you're angry with the judges.
I don't even know where that is.
All right, keep going.
Oh, that was Kelko. It said DY on my shirt. Oh, that's PNG. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I shit the bed that week. We got real sick.
There was a bit of stuff in the waters to dodge at that comp, eh?
That was wild, man. That was a wild event. That was actually, I forgot about that trip. That was up there with one of the most eye-opening events. That was like mini Nias. It was super sharp.
Water?
Mate, it was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy.
Coconuts floating around and stuff in the water.
Yeah, so after this round, in the afternoon, free surfing, Phil Rasman was surfing one, and you get to the inside and you got to like get off because it just goes dry, and then there's like a kind of like a rock wall where everyone's sitting. And anyway, Phil being Phil just goes crazy on the inside and hits one and nose dives and then pearls and just smashes his face into the coral, like live coral too, but kind of like dirty, watery kind of coral, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And smoked himself and was in La La Land, had to like get carried up the beach. And I was like, fuck yeah, he's in my heat tomorrow. He's out. and it was man on man. And anyways, obviously we all went and checked on him, and he, you know, had all the medical crew there, and they looked after him all night and had to stay with him in case he was, you know, wasn't going to wake up. It was pretty full on. It was gnarly. He didn't know where he was. He was concussed real bad. The next morning, we were meant to be first heat in the morning the next day, and Phil got it changed because he had to take these meds, which he needed 4 hours or something. So yeah, we ended up surfing at lunchtime, and I remember he couldn't even roll his arm over either. And we're paddling out, and I was like, oh, sweet, got you in the paddle battle. So I had the first wave, and then we caught a wave together. I caught one, and then he caught one, and I went to do it again, but overtake him and get back to the lineup. But I couldn't do it to a wounded warrior. So I actually let him, like, come on, mate, it's all right, I'll paddle with you. And he ended up beating me on the last wave at the end. And still to this day, we're still real tight because of that. He's a good lad.
I know you are a competitive lad, but I've also seen a few examples of the sportsmanship that you show. And obviously the mates, the people that you're surfing with. I've got a great photo here, which I think I'll pop up because
it's my boy.
you and Jazzy, obviously Jared Neal, good mates on the tour. But how important are those bonds, and you know, how much of it is wanting a passion for winning, and how much of it is just wanting to hang out with your mates when you go to a longboard comp?
Oh, back then, I would have done anything to win, eh? I would have. I think because I wasn't good enough as a kid, I felt like, I think coming from Campbelltown, we had to, look how beautiful that water is. Coming from Campbelltown, you know, my dad used to take us down pretty much most afternoons after school, which is like a long way away. And so we'd drive down there and we'd surf no matter what, piss and rain, 10 foot onshore, 1 foot onshore, blue bottles, whatever. We'd driven down there so we'd surf. So when we'd get to the contest, you know, all these other kids were kind of privileged being close to the water. And me and Jace just had a bit more mongrel, I think. And it wasn't that we were better surfers or I was a better surfer or whatever. I wanted it way more, you know. There was so much more for me to look forward to in life if I could do well. And I thought back then I was going to make money. You know, I was like, hey, I'll be a pro surfer one day. This will be sick. But, you know, I took longboarding path, and I think I've heard it before. You're not, if you're doing it to be rich, then you're in the wrong sport. But if you're doing it to have a rich lifestyle and a good bunch of mates because we're going to be doing this till we can't walk, you know, and the boys that I've had from that year down at Bells to now, you know, we're still tight, and look, we're all here. We've all known each other for 20 years and we're still here. So let's do it another 20.
That would have been an interesting time because back then Moose was, you mentioned Dave Simons before from that first trip down to Bells. And Moose was making pretty good coin back in those days, wasn't he? There was a couple of guys who were pretty well set from longboarding.
Yeah, well, they were like the benchmark, weren't they, back then? But that was back when crew were making, you know, even my missus was making money at school. You know, like she was making more money than people make now while she's still at school.
Yeah, if you're on a big brand, you had a
you had a chance.
And then incentives, 2 magazines to go off, then the international one, then DVDs and stuff. So there was more options.
That's right. Yeah, there was options there, but those guys, I don't think those guys would do. Oh, maybe they were doing it for the money. I don't know, but they were giving it to them at such a young age. They didn't know any different. But like we said, well, you Matty, you weren't making any bucks when you were a kid. I remember you coming over to. Oh, it might have been SA actually. You would have only been like 14, 15 maybe. You're young. Or did you come to WA one time?
Nah, I missed that one.
Nah. Oh, you're in South Wales, and I think I crashed the bus. Remember that?
Yes, I do.
Crashed the New South Wales bus.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah, I ran into a caravan, a couple of beers deep.
There's a bit more of that Campbelltown coming out.
Yeah. Oh, they got heavy beer. I was on the Cooper's Red. Heavy shit. Trying to get this sorted. There we go. I'm back.
So flashing back to that 2010 Nationals win, I think you needed an 8.5 or something with 30 seconds to go, and I think you got an 8.3 or something around that. It was actually a high score required to match Harley's, and then, like you say, you had the single highest wave score. But I remember that day the waves were tiny, and you had to do something outrageous, and you took off and you did a nose heli and then finished off with a tail 360 on this wave that was waist high. Was that just pure mind over matter, or was that obviously you mentioned, obviously the celebration of the passing of a very good friend of yours and giving you the motivation. How much of that professional luck do you think that it seems to be a common thread with champions, that they can sort of manufacture the wave they need or pull out that performance they require? Is that something you can train for, or was that just that day was just pure passion?
That was there was a lot of mongrel there too. There was a lot of hustling out there too, because there was no priority. And like Josh can paddle, Harley can paddle, I can't paddle, Bowie can paddle, you know. So there was a lot of back and forwards with that, and I just happened to had that wave head down. And I remember when I took off, and it just had a little capping section on the top, and I remember hitting the heli, and I remember pushing it so fast, and I was like, whoa! But it actually spun me around that quick that I got into the next transition, into that nose ride, and then back again. And then I remember coming into the shore, and I had like 3 pumps, and I'm like, oh well, the little floater's not going to do anything. I might as well just flick off. So yeah, I remember just chucking the tail free and coming down, and as it grabbed and spun around, I was like, you're kidding, you know. And I think I gave a little bit of a whooshka, but
a little bit of one. There was a roar.
yeah, a couple of extra points, a couple of Felipe points.
Yeah. And it was a pretty happy bunch cheering you up the beach that day as well. I remember young Dylan Hunt was beside himself watching his hero take out the win.
Yeah, it was a good day.
Good times indeed. And of course, you've won the Australian Longboard Open about 15 times, haven't you? Or 5 times or something like that at Kingston.
Yeah.
Do you find you get a special connection? Is that because you like the wave, or because the wave suits you, or do you think once you get a win, you get that good vibe which helps you to win again next time?
Yeah, I don't know. The first one was 2007. That was at Rainbow, and that was pumping. And then I went 2008, 2009, 2010, I think. Did I get 4 in a row? 3, 4. Sean?
I think you've had 3 malfunctions and 1 or 2 also.
Yeah. But yeah, the first 3 were 3 in a row. And I remember actually Andy Mack was saying that no one had won, because they were QSs, yeah? They were WLQSs. So I remember Andy Mack saying no one had won a QS shortboard or longboard ever 3 years back to back. So that was pretty cool.
That's a pretty good stat, though.
Yeah, that maybe they have now. Maybe they have now. But you know, if you win in QSs, you probably don't go back 3 years in a row. You're normally on tour, aren't you? So shortboarders, I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, that was a good stat. Andy Mack told me that stat back in the day.
He was on the show a couple of weeks ago as well. So you're obviously keen on getting back into the scene. Yeah.
I'm definitely going to compete again, 100%. 100%. I missed out on the curly event only because we'd booked a family trip down to Arrawarra, and we booked it in November, and it just so happened to fall on the same week, and we paid thousands of bucks. So I couldn't pull out and leave my family there. I'm just going to head down to Curly and then come back. So that was a bummer. I had to miss out on that. That's a favourite, that one. I've done well down there too, but I had to miss out on that. But I also wanted to do the New South Wales state titles, and that fell. What did that fall on? That
on the
fell,
open, the Burley one.
that fell on Burley. Yeah, that's exactly right. And so I've just keep missing out on things. But no, I'm definitely going to have another crack. That's for sure. I haven't given up. No way
What
in the world.
happened to you at Burley, mate?
I don't know. I'm going to blame Harrison, but he will say he didn't. No, we jumped off and we were so far out and it was big. And well, Matty, you were there. It was just such a big paddle. And well, first of all, I jumped out the cove and I got stuck on the rocks, and then
Me too.
got out the back, and we're out there. And Harley's heat had just finished. Matty's heat had just finished, and I was so far out. And when I looked in, I'd seen the red flag come up, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I waited 30 seconds, and then I thought we were on. I looked in, I couldn't see the green flag because it was so far out, and a set popped up, and it was a big one, perfect one, and Harry was right next to me, and he didn't look at it, and so I've turned. I was like, "Oh, are we on?" He's like, "Yeah, go." And so, my first wave, I actually was probably my best wave, and I rode it halfway down the point, and heard the buzzer go while I was surfing, and had to take me time to paddle back out. And then by the time I got my second one, I was up right on the inside, and then got a little baby one on the shore, and I was up in the athlete's tent, dressed, watching me heat on my phone while I was still out there.
With 10 minutes to go.
About 9. But I thought I'd surfed. There must have been like a 2-minute gap or something in between the heats, and I didn't know. They said we were on standby, but I didn't hear shit. So I don't know. But I spoke to
was held for the first like 11 minutes of the heat, and I only realized we were on 9 minutes in to 9 minutes to go.
In Harry's defense, I spoke to Harry in the athlete's tent at the end, and I said, "Oh, did you know?" And he goes, "Oh, I just said go. I didn't know." But I don't think. And I said, "Mate, I would have done it to you." But he didn't actually. He didn't actually do it to me. We both were just, we didn't know what was going on.
You just sort of said, "Are you going?" And he's like, "No, you go."
Yeah.
I was going to say, because Harry's, it's good to see him back in a contest jersey, but
it was so good.
That certainly wouldn't fit with his overall philosophy for him to sell you a dummy like that. So, but where did you finish up in the comp, Dane?
Last. Oh no. No, I got third. I got third out of was it 4-man heat? No, I got fourth. Sorry, so I got fourth in a 6-man heat.
Yeah. So hopefully next year you can go one better and finish second like Kira did.
Yeah. No, I didn't make the final.
We don't talk enough about Kira. She's been killing it on the contest scene, and we don't give her enough plug.
She gets around.
What's your thoughts on the current state of the ladies surfing, by the way, Dane? Because we've been talking about a lot over the last few weeks. Have you been? Well, obviously you've got good mates like little Chelsea, of course. Who rip on longboards as well, but have you been watching the progression over the last couple of years, and what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think they're all going to that traditional side of things rather than what Chelsea and Selbs and Jodes and all the girls used to do back in the old day. But they look good on a board for sure, and it's selling surfboards, that's for sure. There's out here at Rainbow, it's out of control. It's like 60% women now, on Mows, so they're definitely doing their job, and they look nice on boards, and they're doing well. They're, at Burley last week, they were doing really well, but better than me. They were putting them out there at like decent 5-foot Burley, kind of semi onshore, still going low tide, sucking them out to sea. Like they could have ended up at Moreton so easy, but they went well. It was good, really good. They were pushing it. Yeah.
It was fun. I thought it was kind of fun, except for the paddle out and the jump off at the rock.
Yeah, it was full on. But yeah.
Have you changed your boards, Dane?
Matty, I can see you now.
Have you changed your boards to suit these kind of different criteria and whatnot in all these competitions?
Oh, that's what I was saying to Sean the other day. I've got all those boards. I rode those boards back in the old days too, like when I was a kid coming up. We were riding old Mows when we were 15, 14, and I've always had logs, but I just never really got into them. But probably the last 10 years, definitely, I've got a bunch of logs behind me that I love, and I actually probably did a lot better in the recent side of my competitive side was on logs. Yeah. So I do enjoy riding logs, and I'm probably not as pretty to watch, but I really enjoy them. Yeah. I love them.
You can certainly nose ride with the best of everyone too, Dane. That's something that's really impressed me about your
cheers, buddy.
Your Noosa efforts is how well you nose ride really well, mate. Especially first point.
Cheers, mate. Yeah,
Well,
I wouldn't.
Didn't you win a national logger title?
No, I won the nose rider at Noosa. That was pretty cool. I got second the year before, but it was winner takes all, and then the next year I got one. So I got a nose rider. Yeah,
Good one.
Yeah, that was good, and it was tiny, and I had the biggest beer belly ever. And I remember Phil Jarrett fucking wrote something in the PLB. It was like there was a photo of me, and he's like, Dane Pioli, best nose rider at the event, the only one with a decent beer belly. And I was like, is that worthy of having a go at him, or is that like is he giving me is he giving me a compliment, or is he ripping on me? I don't know. But yeah. But no, it was tiny. I remember it was so small. I think Matty, you won the pro logger that year, and I got the nose rider. That's
that's right. That was it. Yeah.
Was that the year you missed out on the trip?
The Samoa trip. They stitched you.
Yeah.
They stitched you, Matty. I was in for you.
Yeah, no, it's all right. That was a good night anyway. So
Dane, I don't know if you remember. Did you remember that time I beat you at Noosa and Josh Constable?
I must have been asleep.
10-pin bowling.
Oh no, was that Noosa? That was at Port Macquarie.
Oh, actually, it was probably Port Mac.
Yeah.
I just remember having a photo of me beating you and JC at something. So
and Jazza, Jazza was in on that, and so was Harley. You beat us all. Yeah. And Corbo and Jared.
Actually, speaking of you and Harley, and you mentioned it before we come on the show, I'd almost forgotten. Is it okay if I share on our Oz Longboarding Facebook page the night tarp surfing video?
Yeah, chuck it up.
That was
back in behind Woolies there at Tweed. That was back when tarp surfing was all hype, wasn't it? That was a good night though, till we got kicked out by the Sacco.
the crazy, what was his name? Bruce Lee, Kung Fu guy that arrived as well. I'll put that video up on our Facebook.
Yeah,
page.
put that video up and everyone watched that. That was sick. Like there's tarp surfing clips and then there's tarp surfing clips. Like Weeksy took it to the extreme and made like a banger. It's cool. That's cool fun.
I can't believe people got annoyed. They're like, "This isn't a real sport." No, it's not.
They thought it was a proper series, but it was just a joke.
Yeah, World Series tarp surfing. Hey, look, we've gotten through the hour, so
I've only got 4% battery and I'm down in my shed. But let's keep talking until it runs out.
Well,
you guys,
before you go, you and Joe's got to do a song for us.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yeah, mate. Hey, Levy phoned me earlier and said definitely he wants to hear you two sing him a song.
Wait, Jode, sing what's that one with the Lady Gaga and the other guy? In the shallow. You know the one.
Yeah.
How's it start? Kick it off.
I can't even remember the song.
Oh,
Devo. Spotify in the background, Jody.
Sorry?
Get it up on Spotify in the background and play it.
Oh, hang on now.
So, Dane, of course, Kira Cat made her way across to the Whalebone Classic, and I think she's got some recollections of you jumping on the DJ gear over there as well. Is it a regular thing you do?
Yep.
Short and sweet.
Yeah. I get my missus doesn't even watch my Instagram posts anymore because I'm singing in my car on the way home every day. Jodes loves it. She gives me little fires and stuff. But I reckon I lose more followers than I gain, but I enjoy myself. So I got a big drive. I drive to Lennox every day from Cooley. So yeah, I work down there. So it's
wow. Is that just for a contract at the moment or all the time?
Just contract with a builder we got down there, and they're just going ballistic. So there's about 5 more years of work there. So it's just crazy. Yeah. So we do that.
I for one am really looking forward to seeing you back on the contest circuit, mate. I used to.
I'll be back. I'll be back when they are back. It's just it's been hard, with this COVID stuff.
You look fit. You look like you've been surfing. This is good to see.
Yeah, I've been rolling the shoulders over for sure, but I just haven't really. I got that Cura swell a few weeks ago and copped a few. Remember that swell a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Saw
Yeah,
some
that was
pictures.
big.
And it wasn't long term enough, wasn't scheduled long enough for a lot of blow-ins either.
No, it was kind of like a 48-hour thing, but the first day was a pop-up, and then the next day when it kind of backed off, I got a couple down there on me Mao, but the day before you were looking at them just thinking they're just straight closeouts, and it's not. But now I've got this board made for it, and I said to him, I don't want to break, and he goes, that's what I've made it for. I've made it for Kira, so you don't have to pull back anymore. You can so I've got no excuses now. If one caps them out the back, I can actually go and not have to worry about it. So we'll see.
Now's a good time to get out there, mate. Jackson Close is in WA at the moment. So
yeah. Mate, Jacko's injured and he still gets the biggest barrels behind the rock. I don't know how he does it.
Mental.
Yeah.
Nathan Riverland. So you got any questions there? You're a Tigers supporter as well, obviously different Tigers, but you guys both share a love of your footy. But so it's the West Tigers, your league team in it, Dane?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And the Richmond Tigers for Nath. But have you got any questions for Dane at all, Nath? It's like
there's a few things, but obviously we don't have a heap of time. But I was going to ask about your tats, Dane. I've seen a few tats. Give us a story about some of your.
Oh, you like that one?
Oh no! So you're a big basketball fan too?
Oh, I love me basketball. I'm no good at it though. But yeah, I played when I was a kid.
Who do you follow in the NBA?
Oh, I'd kind of just follow the Aussies, so a bit of whoever, But I've just always dressed like that, and it's comfy, and I don't know, it's kind of part and parcel growing up in Western Sydney, I guess. I don't know. Obviously, if I was sponsored by a clothing company, I'd wear theirs, but I just find it comfy to wear basketball shorts and just comfy clothes, and
So what's that tattoo on your knee?
Yeah,
Is that a shaka?
No, it was a Jordan.
Oh, okay.
I got it at my Bucks party in Bali. About 10 of us got it done. So
have you got any tats you wish you didn't have?
Fuck all of them. Nah, apart from my son's name, and me and my wife have one here that we both have together, so that's pretty cool. I don't know, got Southern Cross on my feet. I've actually got this one here. This is, I don't know if you can see that. It's longitude and latitude of a secret wave. So if you type that into your GPS, you'll find something pretty special.
That's really cool, Dane. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm taking a photo of your arm next time I see you. And
Good
so
luck.
you're going to be at the Kira Longboard Classic in a couple of weeks?
Oh, I'd hope to be, yeah. Yep, for sure. Yeah, I've got nothing on. I'll just be working and surfing. So, yeah, I'll be around. Yeah, for sure.
So, Maddie, any final remarks or questions for Dane before we let him go?
You go first, Maddie.
I just want to say thank Dane for being real always. You know what you're going to get with you, Dane. You're a straight shooter. You're always up to say g'day, and there's no smoke screen there. It's straight up real, and it's a pleasure to know you for all these years.
Yeah, you too, Maddie. Legend.
I may have gotten the shallows on my phone up, so I was hoping you guys could see it for us.
I couldn't find it. Sorry, Kira.
Oh, my phone died. Beep. No.
You hear that?
Yeah.
You know the words?
Is that the Gaga one?
Yeah, I think so.
The stars. That's it, yeah. Do me something, girl. That's it.
Keep going.
Go, Jodes.
No, it's your turn.
All right, go. Go, Jodes. Is there something else you're searching for? I'm falling. And in the bad times, I feel myself. I don't know. Longing for change. And in the bad times, I feel myself. I don't know.
That was pretty good.
I can't hear it.
Yeah.
Jodes needs to do the chicks bit.
Yeah.
No, I'm no more of that. I'm starting to sweat. That's it.
No, that was great. That was quite impressive.
That was actually.
Well
I'm pretty impressed, actually, Dane. That was pretty good, mate. So we're in Brady Bunch mode now, folks. So everyone's on the screen. So don't chew your nails, pick your nose, or any of those silly things. Who we got on the show next week, Sean, for episode 11?
Mate, something a little bit different next week because the Noosa Festival of Surfing will be in full swing. Half the crew will be up there, so we're going to do a show based on how the surfing's going and what's happening up at Noosa.
Unreal. So who's going to be at Noosa? Kira, Maddie, and Just Kira and Maddie, and you?
And Jack Entwistle will be there.
Yeah, I may not. I'll just see how I'm going with a couple of things. But
that'd be super cool, Maddie.
And
super cool.
The crew that are up there can bring on, a guest or two. You can bring them in, and
bring a whole gang.
There'll be a lot of past people there. Like Benny Considine will be there, and I might get Tully White back on, and
get my brother on there. He'll be there.
I'll get Jace on. Absolutely.
He probably won't. He probably won't say anything. You'll have to actually physically open his mouth.
We got all sorts of our guests, former guests. Actually, if you could do that, if you could think of something like that, Kira, Maddie. If you
we can organise that.
Everyone who's there, who's been on the show so far, if they could all get together like down at Nasho's. No, I mean that'd be sick. Or even if it's at the pub or whatever, if you can get the Smales kids and anyway, we'll see what you guys come up with. I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be in WA. But
I don't think you'll find the Smales kids at the pub. I think they're a bit young, aren't they?
They've got parents, Nathan. They can drink lemon squash. The Smales and we're going to get Kim on as well, Kira.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mrs. Molnar. So we get it'll be great actually to get a few of the gang together. But Dane, look, mate, it's been a pleasure catching up with you. It's been good to see your face.
Yeah, good to talk to all you guys. And Cookie, you're a bit quiet, but I'll catch up with you for a beer and you can tell me some more stories.
Sounds good.
We were meant to catch up a couple of weeks ago, but we didn't get down to it, did we? When you were coming through the Goldie.
Yeah,
but up Cronulla, eh?
Yeah, maybe next year when we've got it.
Same as the Tigers. We're fighting for the wooden spoon at the moment, mate.
But good on you, mate. I look forward to seeing you in these comps, and I hope you do well.
Yeah, cheers, legend.
Such a someone I've looked up to since
you too, mate.
And I wish all the best for you, mate. Good on you.
Cheers, brother. You too, and your family, and the young one.
Thanks, mate.
Dane, I just wanted to say thanks for my little nickname. I still call myself Weeksy, mate, on Facebook and YouTube, and even my email address is weeksymate@gmail.com. So
Weeksy, mate.
Weeksy, mate.
Yeah, mate.
So you're a champion in every sense of the word, mate. And once again, good luck with all the transfer of the sale and the offer on the new one. And once you're locked in your new house, you can start taking weeks off work and come to some comps. We'd love to see you back in the
for sure.
But on behalf of the surfing community, mate, keep on keeping on. Thanks for all the memories so far, but you're far from out of the game, so we expect to see a lot more from you. So that's episode 10 of 2021 out the way. Join us next week for episode 11 with special guests from Noosa. I'm excited. Actually, Kira, do you want to host the show next week? I think you should be the host.
Sure.
Yep. All those in favour say aye. Aye. So, Kira's the host of the show next week from her hometown of Noosa, and the Noosa Festival of Surfing 2021 on. Thanks for joining us wherever you're watching us or listening to us from, and we look forward to seeing you same time next week.
Longboard talk. I know the talk. I got